The Lombardi Trophy. It's the pinnacle of gridiron glory, weighing in at 8.75 pounds and standing 22 inches tall. The coveted trophy is made of sterling silver and has been designed by Tiffany & Company ever since the very first Super Bowl in 1967. For the first 3 years, it was engraved with World Professional Football Championship, but in 1971, it was rechristened as the Vince Lombardi Trophy to honor the legendary Green Bay Packers coach.
A Super Bowl matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs has fans seeing red. And we're not even talking about Taylor's iconic red lips. Both franchises' home jerseys are red. So who's wearing what? The Kansas City Chiefs are serving as a designated home team in Las Vegas, so they get to choose first when it comes to uniforms. The Chiefs picked their red jerseys, so the 49ers will wear their traditional away game white. Of course, there's a ton of superstition surrounding jersey colors in the Super Bowl. Over the years, teams wearing white have hoisted the Lombardi Trophy 37 times, and only 20 winners wore non-white. Those colorful stats don't seem to bother the Chiefs. After all, they were wearing their classic red when they beat the 49ers in Super Bowl 54.
Going to watch a Super Bowl in person might not be a big deal for the rich, but for the rest of us who are ballin' on a budget, it's practically a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Oh, I'd give anything to go to that show.
I saw my firstborn son.
So what would Americans give up in order to live out their Super Bowl dream? According to Wallet Hub, 35% of folks surveyed would give up all booze for an entire year. 28% would forfeit their favorite food, and 21% would gladly trade in all of their vacation days from work. But what about the following Monday after you've eaten and boozed yourself into oblivion? 43% of Americans would give up one of their work holidays for a little R&R the day after the Super Bowl.
You are gonna be so hungover tomorrow.
Okay, let's be real. Are you tuning into Super Bowl 58 for the game or the commercials?
So David and I are going to be in a little commercial.
Be honest.
I am.
Honest.
It's one of the most watched events on TV, and businesses are willing to shell out big bucks to hawk their products during the big game.
Hey, is it serious?
Hi. You lasted longer than most.
This year's price tag, $7 million for a 30-second spot.
You gotta be kidding me.
What do you want to do?
Hey!
It was back in 1995 when ads first reached the $1 million mark, and the cost has skyrocketed ever since. Speaking of taking it back old school, a 30-second ad cost just over $37,000 for the first Super Bowl back in 1967. We'll leave you with a little taste of that, of Tang.
That's right. The average cost of a 30-second advertisement is $7 million during the Super Bowl. And now we have a sneak peek at some of the big spenders you're going to see during the game, starting with a Super Bowl classic.
All major highways are currently closed. You gotta be kidding me.
What do you want to do?
Hey!
The crew over at Anheuser-Busch went old school with their delivery in the middle of a snowstorm. And when the team of Clydesdales gets lost, a retriever is there to save the day.
There's nothing classic about this next commercial, though.
Hey, Snoop, Martha, this Bic Easy Reach lighter is perfect for light and bold.
Of floating candles?
Helps to keep my fingers away from the flame.
I know, that's my Bic Easy Reach lighter.
And it's great for hard-to-reach places.
Yeah, you pretty hard to reach since you borrowed my lighter, Willie.
A couple of celebrities who are also known for sparking up show off the advantages of the, quote, most borrowed lighter, the most borrowed and, according to Snoop, the most stolen lighter.
And Jennifer Aniston leads a celebrity-filled Uber Eats commercial with an interesting mantra.
Well, you know what they say, in order to remember something, you gotta forget something else.
Did someone doodle on my face? Are these tattoos? They're everywhere. And they're horrible.
I know. Wait, the other guy did it. There was a man without pants also separately. We're just going to leave that there. We'll wait till Sunday to find out where his pants are.
I did love that Jelly Roll was playing into that. That's pretty good. I love that.
Here's some Super Bowl food for thought. The National Chicken Council says Americans will gobble up nearly 1.5 billion chicken wings during this year's Super Bowl.
Everybody loves chicken wings.
If those wings were put end to end, they would reach a third of the way to the moon. That's also enough to put 693 wings on every seat in all 30 NFL stadiums. Happy eating!
I've been a 49er fan my whole life. My first game was back in 1987 when I was 5.
His Niner pride is easy to see.
They call me Eye of the Niner.
Ray Pena is known for his love of the 49ers football team, with a garage of red and gold to prove it.
You know, next thing you know, I got a 3-car garage full of stuff.
But his story, it's not all that meets the eye. After being diagnosed with cancer at just 30 years old.
I had to remove my eye within 6 months or it was going to spread to both my eyes.
He had just one question after a successful surgery.
I asked him if he could make me a 49er eye. That's how diehard of a fan I am.
And the rest is history.
I want Super Bowl too.
His daughter might be watching from home, but Ray's eye and pride is gearing up for the big game.
And we get to go to the Super Bowl and be in the lower end zone for less than it costs for one ticket right now. This is the very first jersey that I ever got. My wife bought it for me.
Dripping in red and gold from floor to ceiling, Ray walks us through his Niners sanctuary.
We were the fan of the year, so they put us in Sports Illustrated back in February.
With letters from John Lynch and memories through the decades.
It's got a little bit of everything, man.
This 49ers faithful has his eye on the prize.
Let's go Niners!
Yeah, let's go!
You didn't say it.
And with Super Bowl 58 just days away, it's time to start thinking about prices.
Starting with the cost of your Super Bowl party. Hosting this year is going to be a little more expensive than last year. The National Retail Federation says the total for food, drinks, apparel, and decorations is expected to reach a record $17.3 billion. That averages out to $86 per person. Now, one helpful tip you might need to save money is to buy chicken wings instead of beef, so no hamburgers.
No hamburgers, but if you are looking for a new TV to screen the game, you are in luck. Right now, retailers are offering such big discounts on TVs that the savings are even greater than they are around Black Friday.
All right, now let's forget about how much you're spending and listen to how much some advertisers are about to spend to catch your attention on Super Bowl Sunday. According to several different reports, to advertise on the Vegas Sphere, it will cost $450,000 per day or $650,000 per week. Ooh. You get a little discount if you do a week. Ooh. Go with the week.
Ooh, that hurts.
Yeah, but think of how many eyes are catching that on the Vegas Sphere.
They better be all the eyes.
But you're going to get advertisers like Coca-Cola and like the big,
those who
like
have
the
the cash
Cadillacs
for it.
and right. With Super Bowl 58 now just days away, some sports betting fans have it bad.
They sure do. So if you are interested in risking some cash to gain some, you might be interested in learning how to play squares. I break down the steps on what you need to do to play.
Super Bowl squares can be played multiple ways, but here's a popular way it's done. One Super Bowl team gets the columns and the other team gets the rows on a 10x10 grid full of 100 boxes. You can charge as much as you'd like per square, but for our purposes, the boxes will be $5. Everyone who has paid to play must then fill in their personal name on the squares they believe will have a better chance of success. Once all of the squares have been sold, the columns and rows are given random numbers from 0 to 9. The square's winner is then determined by looking at the last number in each team's score. For example, if the 49ers beat the Chiefs 24-21, you will need to look at those two numbers on the grid, 4 and 1, to see whose name lands in that intersection on your Super Bowl squares. So the person in row 4, column 1, would win the pool prize. Since the numbers are entered into the two teams' row and column randomly, there is no strategy, only luck.
And there's a number of ways people can play. They can do it at the end of each quarter, or they can just do it, at the end of the entire game. Have you ever played squares?
You know, maybe with the station years ago.
Okay.
But I don't do it like for my own personal.
Okay.
No.
You don't look like the type,
No,
Tina.
I know I should though, because it's random. You don't even have to know.
Yeah.
What
Well,
about
a
you
lot
guys?
of women, they say for the basketball,
Yes,
emergencies, they
yeah.
pick like the cutest
Yeah.
players or their favorite team colors, and
Right.
then they end up winning. And then the guys in the office
like, really?
who know all
I know.
about basketball,
They're all mad.
and the women are like, "I'll just take that pot." So yeah, I like the ones that are all about luck, right?
We are officially 6 days away from the Super Bowl, and the big event happening this weekend in Vegas is the taste of the NFL. Joining me now is Chef Tim Love. And Chef, while you show us how to make the bucatini alla vodka pasta, tell us what people can expect from this taste of the NFL.
Taste of the NFL, for those that don't know, is the largest charitable organization associated with the NFL. And so we're throwing a big bash, as we do every year, at the NFL. And it's an amazing event. We have lots of former players and current players that come out from the NFL. We have 25 different chefs and mixologists there. It's an amazing taste around, live music. It's just tons of fun and with a great cause behind it. We're on a mission to end childhood hunger. 1 in 8 school children are deprived of good food. And so our mission is to make sure that doesn't happen. Everywhere we travel, where the Super Bowl changes cities, we make a very, very large impact. And that happens only because people come to our party.
And these children at risk, this is a problem nationwide, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's the biggest problem we have, actually. If you were to look at 40,000 feet over America, childhood hunger is our number one problem. And, it needs to be a bigger focus. We've been focusing on it for years and years and years. Gen Youth is the group leading the charge here that we gather with. And when you look at, how much money we spend on different things, defense and what have you, it's a $17 billion check that ends childhood hunger. And so we're just chipping away at it one step at a time. And the more people that participate, the easier that becomes.
And how big is the event going to be this weekend? Is Taylor Swift going to show up?
I don't know. She seems to be showing up everywhere. Winning Grammys last night and seems to be at every football game. I'm sure she's going to be at the Super Bowl for sure. I don't know if she's coming to our party, but the only way you find that out is if you show up.
Okay, and before we let you go, what's the secret to making this perfect pasta that you have right there?
Well, the rigatoni alla vodka, you want to make sure that you toast the garlic and the chilies first. I'm sure you got the recipe going up on your website. Cook the pasta, toast your garlic and chilies, add in your sauce and the sausage. It's an amazing pasta, very simple to make. You should make it at home while you're watching the big game.
All right, who do you got? You got the Chiefs or the Niners?
I'm going Niners. I hate to say it.
All right, okay, we'll see how it goes. Tim Love, celebrity chef, thank you so much. Coming to us from Vegas. A pop star in their corner, but will Taylor Swift be in the stands? Right now, she's in the middle of her world tour, and leading up to the Super Bowl, she has 4 back-to-back shows in Tokyo, Japan. The last one on February 10th. Tokyo is about 17 hours ahead of Las Vegas, as you know. So that time difference actually works in her favor, because if she hopped on her private jet and flew back right after the show, it would still be February 10th in Vegas when she landed, one day before the Super Bowl. I want a private jet.
Well, maybe you can try one of these airlines. Speaking of flights, the airlines getting in on Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift hype include American Airlines, which has Flight 1989 in honor of the year Taylor Swift was born. It's also the name of her albums.
Yeah.
It will run twice from Kansas City to Las Vegas in the days before the Super Bowl, and there will be a Flight 87 the day after the game. That is Kelce's jersey number. It will leave Vegas and head back to Kansas City. There are also other flights honoring Chiefs players Patrick Mahomes and Mike Edwards.